Hey, this is Ben from Ready.Set.Van, and winter is in full effect here in New Jersey. We just got that huge snowstorm that pretty much the entire country got. We got about 12 to 16 inches of snow, depending on where you were located. Where I'm going to be going today is out in the Pine Barrens. I think they got about 12 or 14 inches, and I'm pretty excited about it. I've never really had a chance to take one of these all-wheel drive 170s out in the snow, and today's the day. So yeah, this one's got one of our Hudson builds in it. It's got awesome Agile suspension setup and wheels and tires and everything. I'll tell you more about the van later, but if there was a van that was set up to go back in the woods in the snow, this is it. Mostly, I'm just super excited to get out there. I think it's going to be a great time, so let's roll. Wow, it is beautiful back in here, and yeah, as it turns out, so we've got a bit of a snow road here. It looks like got a bunch of Jeeps and trucks that have been through here, and it's really soft on the sides, and we've got a bit of a hard packed, bit icy, double track here, and the van is handling it beautifully. Yeah, it's handling this really nicely. The suspension is phenomenal. This Agile kit it feels amazing on the road, but off-road it's really nice. This reminds me of living in New Hampshire, being back on like snowmobile tracks in the winter, just going through the woods, through pine forests like this. Okay, well, I want to show you a classic Pine Barrens situation here. Pine Barrens is full of all of these deep mud bogs. I don't know if you can see that behind me. I know from experience those can be anywhere from like 6 inches deep to like waist deep. So we're not gonna do that today. That's not what I'm back here for. But yeah, so I don't know. I'm gonna have to back up through there. Probably like an eighth of a mile or something. Let's go. Man, this thing, hang on a second. Let's go. This van is kind of unstoppable. Oh man, I thought I might have been stuck there, but no, not at all. I'm just gonna pull over for a second. All right, I actually want to go take a little walk here because there's a trail down here that gets kind of real close to a lake, and I kind of want to go check it out. This trail is super narrow, so actually, this is one example where I don't think I could get the 170 down here. So if I had a 144, I could get back here for sure, especially if I had... sometimes I travel with a pole saw, like an electric chainsaw on a pole, to help trim some of these branches and do like a little trail maintenance, so that I can get through. A lot of these trails, they're maintained up to basically the height of a Jeep, and but when you bring a van through, everything from like 7 feet to 10 feet hasn't been trimmed. So I find it actually pretty helpful to bring a pole saw. Let me flip this camera around and show you what I'm talking about here. There we go. All right, like these branches here, yeah, it'd be a problem, but otherwise, it's like a snowmobile track coming through here. Really cool. Alright, well, yeah, this is the lake. It's all frozen over, but it's nice out here. It's crazy that in a place like New Jersey, which is one of the most populated states in the country. I mean, you don't even have cell service out here. It feels like you're in just a completely different place. Yeah. But, all right, back to the van. All right, I am absolutely blown away how good Mercedes electronics stability control. I think of it as traction control, but they call it stability control. The ESC on the van is really, really good. That's basically the function in the van that's like maintaining your traction. So if your wheels are going to spin out, it's going to apply brake to any wheel that spins out a little bit. And I have to say, it is incredibly good, especially on these hard pack roads. It's incredibly solid. Of course, we've got great suspension, we've got great tires, we've got all-wheel drive, but I've played around turning it on and off, and it's definitely a big difference. And so, you know, I think pretty much for most people, most of the time, you're going to want to keep it on. I mean, it's a safety feature, and it just does an incredibly good job at getting you where you want to go, and you know, not really letting the van fishtail or lose control. Obviously, you know, you can't drive like an idiot, but I'm really impressed. So what I'm going to do next, though, is I really want to, you know, kind of have a little more fun with the van. So we're going to head out to a field that's near here. I'm going to turn off the ESP, and let's see what you do. This is a good time. So it is really remarkable how different the van behaves once you have ESP turned off. It is much, much easier to track the van where you want to go when ESP is turned on. And that said, it can be pretty frustrating because, you know, sometimes you want to do something and it just won't let you. But something I've learned, even with the ESP turned off, hang on a second, even with the ESP turned off, it still occasionally, like the computer jumps in and is like, nah, you didn't want to do that. It tends to be when I'm like close to being full lock, and I'll give it a bunch of gas. It doesn't always let me do it, and that's usually when I want to give it full gas, is when I'm close to being full lock, because I want to try and spin it around. There's a reason I'm full lock and giving it gas. So even though the computer is turned off, it doesn't, I don't think it's really off all the time. I think it's still there in the background, kind of like minding your business. So I don't know if that's my take, but it is significantly more fun if you want to be maintaining wheel spin all the time, as I do at the moment. All right. Whew. This van. This van is a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. It's just good, clean fun. All right, I'm going to find a place to pull over, and let's talk about it. Well, all I can say is wow, what a treat this has been It's been a lot of fun. I've also learned a lot about this van that I didn't really know. I mean, I always knew it was very capable. I've driven it in deep sand before and other things, but never in a lot of snow. And holy cow, it is incredibly capable. I don't think, unless the snow is so deep that you were like plowing it with your bumper, I don't think you could get stuck out here in this van. It's all pretty level ground here. If you were on a camber or up on a slope, then that's a different story. But super, super capable. The thing that surprises me most, I think the biggest takeaway that I just wasn't expecting today is how good the ESP is on this van, the computer controlled stability control. It is phenomenal on like this kind of stuff that I'm standing in now, this kind of broken up, loose snow, or the stuff where there's like kind of some tracks and not tracks, and the hard packed snow on the dirt roads. All of that, it just does an incredibly good job. And if you turn it off, especially in this loose stuff, if you turn it off immediately, you feel the difference, and then you turn it back on, and immediately it's a big difference. And so I think for most people, you're just going to want to leave that on all the time. The only time that it was, in my opinion, really better with it off is if I was intentionally trying to create wheel spin. So this last stuff where I was trying to drift through these berms over here, which was a good time, I recommend it to anyone who is inclined. Obviously, it needs to be turned off for that because the goal is to maintain wheel spin. There are some other times where it's a little frustrating, where it's like the ESP is kind of restraining you, but you just kind of give it a little more throttle input and give it time, and it'll work its way out of a big pile of snow or whatever it is that you're in. I don't know. I'm really, really impressed. It is a tremendous, tremendous good time. I'm really excited for our client who's getting this van shortly, and I'm sure he's going to have an absolute blast as well. So, I hope you had a good time. I certainly did. I learned a lot, and I really appreciate you being here. Have a good one. Peace.